Hi, I'm Jami Philbrick for IamRoad.com. I'm here in Anaheim at WonderCon 2015, and I had a chance to talk to some of the cast and crew of the new DC animated movie, Batman vs. Robin. Here's what they had to say about the new film. Unless I'm incorrect, I think next to Mr. Kevin Conroy, you are now the actor who has voiced Batman the most.
Really?
How does that feel to have played this character so many times? Because this is your fourth outing, correct?
This is number 4. Yeah. That's crazy. Am I the second most?
I think next to Mr. Conroy. But of course, Conroy voiced it for 20 years, so you got some time to go.
Yeah. I've only got like 18 more years to go, so and counting. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, it's definitely an honor and a blessing to come back for a second one and be part of the Robin legacy again. Now, Damian has reached a point in his life where every kid starts to question like who they are, what they want to do with their life. And we see that through Damian's struggle with his father and the Court of Owls. Now, the Court of Owls has more of the League of Assassins style upbringing that he was used to because he was raised from it ever since he was a kid. So that appeals to him as well as being with his father, Batman, and because he's had more of an empathized conscience now that he has been with him for a few months and learned some of his ways. So it's definitely a struggle, like many families have during their teenager phase, and we'll see how that goes.
Court of Owls is a great villain. They're a villain that no one other than comic book fans have seen before. They represent a mysterious, powerful group that even Batman isn't able to contain, and they're endless. So it's a threat that's omnipresent that will go on and on and on. And so I think that when you combine that with the fact that his son Damian is involved in their group, the stakes for Batman just go through the roof as far as him having to deal with this group that's very deadly, has connections all throughout Gotham. Like they're in Gotham's DNA, and they have his son. And so I think when you add all those things into it, it makes for a very tense, nerve-wracking kind of story.
Yeah, I mean this incarnation of Batman, the new 52 Batman, is obviously concentrating more on his relationship with Damian and what kind of a father he's going to be, his own hopes, dreams, and fears for Damian, and the worry that all parents have of sort of inheriting the gifts of the father or the sins of the father, depending on how you look at it, and how that's going to affect his his future. So it's really kind of exciting to be playing an incarnation of Batman that is not just about fighting crime or about beating the bad guy or solving a mystery. This is a Batman that's really passionate and has we've really gone into his character and what makes him Batman, what makes him Bruce Wayne, and we're really starting to see how the choices has made in the past are going to affect his son. So it's really exciting. And of course, Nightwing comes in, and he's kind of like this other father figure. And I think Damian in some ways relates more to Nightwing than he does to his own father.
Dick Grayson has, since he's often hung out with him so much, the first time that they met him was actually through fighting. So he's kind of formed, eventually he's kind of formed somewhat of a brotherly bond with him in a somewhat violent kind of way, but still he looks up to him. He sees to him as a brother figure, like the brother he never had. So he kind of is a little bit more close to him. I would say a little bit more close, maybe like if the same, if not like he's a part of the family, so to speak. Yeah.
What's it like having a comic book legend like J.M. DeMatteis write a film that you're producing?
Well, J.M. worked on Justice League Unlimited and I think and Justice League too, and Brave and the Bold. So the whole comic book thing is that's his wheelhouse. So having him on this stuff wasn't like a surprise for me because I was used to him working on our stuff. Batman versus Robin surprised me because really I don't think we've ever had him do anything quite as intense as that. It's very dark, and so the surprise came at how well he executed the script.
The new wrinkle for me in this one, well, there are two new wrinkles. One was Damian, who's he's a newer character anyway, so he's a character I've never written, so I had to educate myself about him. And then we have this wonderful Court of Owls mythology that we're drawing from. And I keep stressing to people, this is not an adaptation of the Court of Owls storyline from the comic books. What we did was we took elements from the Court of Owls, we used that as a foundation, and built a new story on top of that. This is really a Bruce Damian story. It's a relationship story. It's about two people, a man who is not equipped to be a father, and a kid who in many ways is not equipped to be a son, trying to work their way through this mess and find each other. And see. We can't even take it for granted that they love each other because they don't really know. Does Damian really know what love is? In some ways, does Bruce even really know what love is? And then suddenly to be faced with each other in this way, and it's the struggle between those characters within all these wonderful, magical Court of Owl elements, I think, that makes the story really work.
And then you throw in the adopted son, Dick Grayson.
Right, for a wonderful contrast. Yeah, exactly. And there's a push-pull between the two of them as well, because Damian resents him tremendously because he got everything that Damian never had. He had that mentor figure there for him, and Damian had the League of Assassins. But even with Damian, there's even the question of does it really matter to him if you've been brought up by the League of Assassins? Are you just born to be a sociopath for the rest of your life? And that's what's so fascinating about this. And then you put all that in the body of a kid, and it's like, whoa, what is this?
When you sign on to these projects, most of the ones you've done are based on actual comic book storylines. Do you go back and look at those storylines for clues to kind of help you, or do you want to stick just to the script of what you're doing?
No, I've been reading some of the source material. I read some of the Court of Owls series for this. And this is kind of like it's kind of like a hybrid of Court of Owls, but also extending the Batman and Son story. And that was a movie that became Son of Batman. So I find it really useful to go back to the source material, if nothing else, to see how inventive some of these writers are about sort of keeping this series of stories alive. I'm always a little bit skeptical initially, like, wow, we're really committing to this whole Batman and Robin relationship and this Batman family relationship. But I'm always really surprised because every script just goes deeper and deeper into their characters, and of course, as an actor, that's all you want. It's character before story as an actor. So that's kind of what we're getting, and it's really exciting.
Was it fun getting to essentially play with a new DC character in Damian?
It was. Because when you work with these characters for so many years and you know these universes so well, you're always looking for the new wrinkle, the new way in. And the good thing about Damian, aside from just being a new character in and of himself, is that through him you get to see Batman in a different light. Oh, so we're not seeing Batman the way that we're always accustomed to seeing him, because suddenly he's trying to relate to this kid and be a father and figure this mess out. We've never seen him do that. Even, with the other Robins, they were not his son. He was sort of this figure that swooped in and gave them a new chance at life. But this is his son. This is blood, and this takes it to a whole other level,
You good for another go-around? Are you ready to come back and do Batman another time?
Absolutely.
You've got only about 18 more years to go to beat Kevin, so...
You know what? I'm just really thrilled to get a chance to do this, and they keep asking me back. So I'm just very grateful to be given the opportunity to play this iconic role.